Do big-name dealerships have your back? No. Does Marcotte Ford in Holyoke? Yes. Why? Because they're a community-based Ford dealership that cares. And you'll see why when you walk through the door. Have a seat in the Lug Nuts Cafe and discuss your dream with a member of the Marcotte team. You'll hear everything you want, selection, service, which means the start of a relationship with peace of mind for the life of your vehicle. Marcotte thanks the community for having their back, and they're ready to have yours. Marcotte Ford, 1025 Main Street, Holyoke.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:34, and Guns N' Roses with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
Going to be cloudy today with a high of 36. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 42. It is 22 right now in downtown Springfield.
Man, today is going to be a jammed-up show. We got Scott Zolak coming on after 8 o'clock. I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about, what's he got planned for the weekend?
Well, the big Taylor Swift game's coming up on the 17th, so we got to talk about that.
There's also a game tonight that he's going to be in Pittsburgh for. I'm sure he'll be thrilled for that.
Do you think Taylor will start that game, or do you think she'll just be called in as backup for the second string?
She'll be called up. She'll start.
Yeah.
She'll definitely start.
All right.
Also, Marty Caproni will be here. It is also a Thunderbird Thursday. Your chance to win a bunch of stuff for Saturday's game against Bridgeport and other stuff, too.
I'm more excited about going to a local hockey game than I would be thinking about a Patriots game where you guarantee they're going to lose.
And you have to have a Prime membership to watch it.
I bet this sports betting thing is pretty easy lately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, if you're listening on the podcast, it's brought to you by Marcotte Ford. They got your back for sales, service, parts, and rentals. Marcotte Ford in Holyoke. Just about 5:36 on Rock 102. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:51 in Boston with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
Going to be cloudy today with a high of 36. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 42. It's 22 right now in downtown Springfield.
Let's see here. Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Aquapump, an expert in all water supply systems from the well to the pump and into the house.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So, from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
Oh, my goodness. Time Magazine's Person of the Year. Could you guess who it is?
Gary Rome.
Well, last year, but not about this year. This year, who do you think it is?
It's not Gary Rome, so that's going to leave Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Taylor Swift. That's right. I was going to say Travis Kelce, but, that's just because I'm a football fan.
Come on, he's an afterthought.
This, in the article, because she does this whole article now with Time Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
In the article, she divulged the insane fitness routine she adopted for the Eras Tour, which started 6 months before she hit the road. She said, quote, "Every day I would run on the treadmill singing the entire set list out loud. For fast songs and a jog, or a fast walk for slow songs."
Dude, that movie was almost 3 hours long. Is she working out on the treadmill for 3 hours?
I would imagine you would have to. You know, when you start doing a lot of cardio, your breathing gets a lot better, and I think to have to carry an entire show like that, you have to be physically fit.
All right, but if I were going to be walking for 3 hours, I'd want to get somewhere.
She did get somewhere. She's got 900 million reasons to...
I know, I just like
to celebrate.
I'd like to think I'd at least be able to get out the front door.
What is it? Oh, yeah, her gym also prepared a program consisting of strength conditioning and weights, and she did 3 months of dance training. Why would she even go to a gym? Wouldn't she have one in her house?
Well, maybe there's a room she calls the gym, and she doesn't leave the house.
Maybe.
There's enough room in that place in Watch Hill where she doesn't really need to go out to the nearest Planet Fitness.
She wanted to be so over-rehearsed that she could be silly with her fans and not lose my train of thought. She also stopped drinking on the road, where in the past she said she toured like a frat guy. She said, doing that show with a hangover, I don't want to even know that world.
I have a hard time imagining her doing like a beer bong or some Jaeger bombs.
She could do that. Irish car bombs.
Yeah, right.
Those are the best ones. In between shows, she gives herself an entire day of rest where she only gets out of bed to get something to eat. All right. That's the Travis Kelce day. She
I
only
don't-
gets
I
out
don't-
of bed to get something to eat.
Like, I don't see her, sitting on the couch stuffing, table talk pies into her mouth.
Yeah, he doesn't have to get up and go eat.
No, he doesn't.
He can just stay right in bed. We'll talk more about Taylor at the end of Hollywood Trash because
good.
there's a little Kim Kardashian nugget there too. People Magazine's list of 25 most intriguing people other than Taylor Swift. Jeremy Allen White from The Bear. Isn't that Gene Wilder's grandson? Is that what it is?
I don't think they're related. They just look
they
a lot
just
alike.
look alike?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were related somehow.
No,
Anyway.
that's just what the internet is telling you, but I don't think they're related at all.
Holly Bailey? Who's Holly Bailey?
Wasn't she the one who appeared naked in the film Monster?
No. Oh no, it's a different person. It's Holly Bailey, not Holly Berry. She's another person who's obviously famous, and I have no idea who she is.
But she's intriguing.
This is great that I run a topical morning show and have no idea who any of these people are.
Never stopped us before.
Ariana Maddox from Vanderpump Rules, Beyonce, Coleman Domingo from Rustin and Fear the Walking Dead, Donna Kelsey, the mom of NFL players Travis and Jason, David Beckham, Margot Robbie, Lily Gladstone, and Emma Stone. How is Donna Kelsey the most influential person in America?
Did you see who came out of her birth canal?
Yeah.
2 potential NFL Hall of Famers. And listen, say what you want. 2 of them.
2 of them. 2.
Yeah. I mean, I know
Yeah.
some mothers that gave birth to nothing but dead weight.
Which one do you do the favorites with? The one who had most rushing yards the season? All right, whoever has the most rushing yards this season is my favorite at the end of the season.
Well, I know, but her other son's a lineman, so he's not rushing anywhere.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what I'm getting at.
Halle Bailey, by the way, was the Little Mermaid,
Oh.
but the African American version of
Yeah.
the Little Mermaid.
Okay, so there's an influential person, somebody who, setting, pioneers and
Yeah.
changing things the way,
Well,
changing culture.
Just kind of shows you that the mermaids can be of any culture.
Yeah,
really.
but I'm saying, okay, I can see that one, but then the influential person of being Travis and Jason Kelsey's mother? Mm-hmm. Why? I just don't understand.
Well, without her, who would Tay-Tay be dating?
I don't think she threw the football to him when he was a kid.
We don't know that.
What about the dad? Where's the dad? Where's the sperm donor
We
for
don't.
this?
We don't talk about the dad.
Diddy is now facing a 4th sexual assault lawsuit.
That's why he's not on the list of the most influential people of 2023.
This time by a woman who claims she was sex trafficked and gang raped when she was 17 years old back in 2003. But Diddy is fighting back hard. He issued a statement saying, quote, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and the truth."
He's hardly the kind of person who should be saying enough is enough,
Why?
because I don't think he understands that concept.
No, I don't think he understands that either. But, a lot of people will be quick to say, well, these women are just looking for a payday. You know what? And
Yeah. So, but even if they are looking for a
the
payday,
payday still doesn't make up for the traumatic stuff that they went through with Diddy.
what I was going to be my point. I mean, if you're going to put yourself in a position to have everything about you questioned in order to prove this man's guilt, I don't think that's about going for a payday. I think it's about looking for justice.
I just remember not liking him once I saw him on stage with Jimmy Page doing Kashmir.
Yeah, I don't think that was Jimmy's best moment either.
Jimmy just did it for the money.
He did it for the payday.
And as I said, Taylor Swift is Times Person of the Year, and with that comes the extensive interview where she revealed Kim Kardashian set her up with that leaked voice message that Taylor left for Kanye. And then she says that Kim edited the call to make her look bad, and Taylor called it a frame job.
Really? Mm-hmm. Kim must have had something to say.
Oh, my God. The last time I had a frame job was when I took Ray J's tonsil-bashing manhammer, and he gave me an all-you-can-eat pass at the Pole Slaw Buffet. And that sex tape you can purchase on YouPorn for $39.95.
Caitlin?
These are original, by the way.
Wow,
These aren't written
you
down.
really?
Yeah,
Huh? It's about time.
Yeah.
Caitlin?
Well, I never got that down and dirty with your mother, Chris Kim, but I once landed the tanker between the two islands. Gave her a little gooby booby.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is I smashed those melons so hard it looked like the aftermath of a Gallagher show sponsored by Miracle Whip. Wait till you see my Sledge-O-Matic. And that's your Hollywood Trash on Rock 102. Ah!
Do you know? Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Good people, rock solid service at every Rocky's Ace Hardware.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, tonight the New England Patriots will be looking to pick up the pieces and put an end to their 5-game losing streak when they travel to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. Now, I should point out, this is hardly the Patriots' longest-lasting losing streak. You'd have to go back to 1990 when they cracked off an amazing 14 losses in a row. That's long before some of you youngsters were even born. Why, you'd have to go back to Tom Brady's freshman year in high school to remember something like that, and yet here they are, not even halfway to those kinds of numbers. In other words, many of you people don't even remember what terrible was. Well, tonight the Patriots are in Pittsburgh looking at the NFL's lowest over-under numbers in decades at just 30 points, which is strange because you would think that a Bailey Zappi Mitchell Trubisky showdown would be loaded with explosive production. Well, according to the odds makers, probably not. Now, the biggest problem tonight isn't just the staggering lack of offense you'll be seeing. The biggest problem is that tonight's game will be on Amazon Prime Video. Now, you might say, but Baxi, I don't have a Prime membership. What's a guy like me supposed to do? Well, it's early in the day, and for just $139 a year, you can enjoy such amazing benefits as one-day shipping, exclusive access to Amazon Music, gaming, and other various benefits such as Amazon Fresh, Amazon Photos, and all kinds of things you'll never get around to using. But more importantly, by not being such a frickin' tightwad, you would have a full access to tonight's game in Pittsburgh. Isn't that worth at least $139 annual subscription? Of course it is. How else you gonna watch the Patriots lose? You gotta go to a bar? You gotta rip off someone else's login information? Or you gonna do something really crazy, like listen to the game on the radio? Please, the only way out of this quandary is to come up with the money and enjoy all those great benefits that Jeff Bezos has personally set aside just for you. If that's too much for you, then consider this. By not having the game on network TV with an over-under of 30 points, where I would definitely go with the under, and the possibility of a 6-game losing streak, I think the NFL has just done you a favor, because the rest of us are going to feel cheated out of $139. But hey, enough of my yapping sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. If you've been thinking, man, my toolbox is pathetic, you got to upgrade. The killer deal waiting for you at Rocky's. Buy the Milwaukee 22-inch rolling toolbox and the 3-drawer pack-out toolbox. Then you get the Milwaukee large pack-out toolbox for free. Now that's a heck of a deal. And you'll find it right now at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch. Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock at 6:13 and AC/DC with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be cloudy today with a high of 36. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 42. It's 21 right now in downtown Springfield.
Marty Caproni's going to be joining us later on today. We'll talk to Scott Zolak about, I don't know what we're going to get to talk to him about. And also, it's a Thunderbird Thursday, your chance to win a big fat hockey package for Saturday's game against Bridgeport.
We're going to talk to Marty about Patriots football, and we'll talk to Scott Zolak about a place you can find a comedy show for $20 and a meal somewhere in Chicopee.
With a hack headliner tonight.
With a very hack headliner. By the way, I'll be doing that. That's me.
That's
I'm
you.
the headliner tonight.
I meant hacking. I meant hack in a very loving way.
Yeah, but you gotta go on my Facebook page and you gotta find Marty's Venmo, and then you gotta Venmo Marty for the $20. Otherwise, if you show up at the door, it's $25. That's like the new rule that they're doing here.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
In order to get a $5 discount, you got to go directly through Marty.
Right.
Well, that's a reliable
That
source.
sounds like shady.
That sounds wicked shady.
Yeah, just send this Italian guy some electronic funds. Nothing will happen to you. Nothing bad.
I don't know of a single situation in which that turned out to be problematic.
I'm reading this article yesterday out of it's a website called techspot.com, and they talk about returning to the workplace. If you were like one of those workers that work from home,
right?
Are you one of the many people so against returning to the office that you'd rather quit your job than go back? It's an issue several companies are facing. According to a recent report, one tech giant rapidly losing staff over its RTO policy is Amazon, though it doesn't seem willing to do anything about it. Business Insider reports that some Amazon employees have noticed an increasing number of colleagues are leaving the company over its strict return-to-work office mandate. Ending a policy of allowing employees to work from home full-time is always a contentious move by companies, but none have faced as much pushback as Amazon. The original announcement resulted in an employee petition in February, which was resoundingly rejected, and it was one of the reasons behind a walkout later in the year. Adding fuel to the fire is another Amazon policy introduced in July that requires some corporate workers to relocate to other cities near their team's hub offices, the central locations assigned to each individual team. Amazon CEO Andy Jassy was clear about what will happen to any worker who refuses to come back into the office for at least 3 days per week. It's probably not going to work out for you at Amazon, he said in August. So then they're like, okay, then it won't work out for us and it won't work out for you too. Because then they started quitting in droves.
Yeah, that's a problem.
In an internal Slack channel called Remote Advocacy, dedicated to discussions about the return to hub mandate, one of the 34,000 group members wrote, "This is my last week in Amazon, and my only reason for leaving is the RTH policy." It's speculated that the uptick in resignations is linked to the deadlines for employees starting work in offices getting closer. They write that the cloud unit Amazon Web Services has seen several notable departures in recent weeks. The sheer number of AWS resignations in the last week is stunning.
Well, I suppose I can kind of see it two ways.
Yeah.
One, from the employee's perspective, if you can get things done at home productively, I see no reason why you shouldn't be able to stay. On the other hand, if you're the employer and you've got a piece of real estate that houses cubicles and office space and half your workforce is gone, you're kind of wasting money on real estate.
On an office space and feeding the lights and all that other stuff.
Exactly.
But you think you'd reorganize your business then? Once you realize that, hey, look, we don't need people coming in here. We could save a crap ton of money by closing this entire office and only having like a little small building with small offices in it versus this big giant office building with a cafeteria and all these other things that go along with it. So I don't know. I mean, I would probably rather work from home if I was in like an office job like that.
Yeah.
This you can't really do. You can't really do this from home.
Not well, no. Well, on the other hand, you remember a few years ago when I had that life-threatening bunion surgery and I had to do the show from my house?
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to get back. Like, I mean, this may seem kind of weird, but I actually like the structure of coming into the office. I think I need that. If I'm left to my own devices to motivate myself to work while I'm at home, stuff ain't never going to get done. That's just the way I roll. But if I have to come in and there's some structure involved, then I'm good.
You don't get anything done here while you're here. Let's make sure you're going to get something done when you're at home.
You do realize I'm just saying this so the office staff hears that, and that I don't really have any, there's no honesty in that explanation.
I mean, the only reason why we need to be in here is to see each other. It really doesn't work when you can't see what the other, because the show is based on chemistry.
Yes.
That's usually what it is. We could probably do an okay job if we had to do it for a short period of time.
Right.
But to continue doing that, I think you're missing something from that. So it really wouldn't be ideal in this situation. Now, if you worked upstairs in the office, we need people here too, because if people win contests and things like that, they need to come pick up their prize. So this isn't an ideal workplace to work from home.
This isn't, this isn't the place. But if you're working, in other places, I mean, I know people that have been working from home for this whole time and with absolutely no problems whatsoever. When they got to go in for a meeting, they can either go on Zoom or they can come into the office. But for the most part, they get everything done at home, and that satisfies a lot of of their needs. And that's cool. On the other hand, I've had situations here in this building where I had to see somebody every day, and it just didn't work out.
It just didn't.
For any number of reasons.
What, for being here with people?
Which I would have been much happier if someone didn't show up.
Yeah.
And decided to not come in.
Well,
I'm not naming names, but
I am. I got a buddy. But see, that could have been done remotely. That whole thing.
I would say after about a week or two, we were begging for it.
Yeah, actually, I think I was working remotely, even though I was right here.
You were in your head. You were at home in bed.
You know what? I'm sorry. I gotta point this out. There was this, and I think we've talked about this before, about how kind of disengaged I was for a time here.
Yeah,
like I really wasn't. I don't know. You get something presented to you, and then there's really nothing you can do about it. So really, the only thing you can do is just sit back and watch the place burn to the ground, right? But there was this one conversation you and Dave Coombs were having with Tommy Cross from the Springfield Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
And leading up to that conversation, we had a conversation. I don't know, was it the Mass Hat, or was it, I don't know, what it was, the Now Hear This or something came up where we were talking about, is it okay to use your significant other's toothbrush, right? So
yes,
I was like, hey, you know what? We should ask Tommy Cross. I bet you he would probably use his wife's toothbrush. I mean, that would be something to do. So then, Tommy Cross gets on the air, and I'm just totally checked out of this whole conversation, and I'm not paying attention the entire time at all.
Sure.
Until I hear that little sounder where the thing is wrapping up with the sports music that you play, and they're like, oh, yeah, here I am. And I'm sitting right here. I'm sitting right here, no more than 5 feet away from either of you. And I said, hey, Tommy, do you ever use your wife's toothbrush? And you could have heard a mouse release gas
from a mile away.
Body.
Oh, yeah.
When you both looked at me and were like, we just got done talking about that. So you know what?
Yeah.
I hated to have to work from home for so long, but I was so glad to come back to the office in September.
It's 6:23 on Rock 102. It's 6:26 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam Neeson can give you the forecast there, whatever his name is.
Liam Neeson?
It's Liam from Channel 40. I don't know what his name is.
Right.
Liam, what? Come on.
Huffaher. Mel Mahay. Right, yeah, that's what it was. Man, what a show today. Scott Zolak will be joining us later on. I believe we may get around to talking about football. Marty Caproni will be here in about a half an hour, and it's a Thunderbird Thursday. Your chance to win tickets and a bunch of other great stuff for Saturday's game against the Bridgeport Islanders.
Ah, okay.
All right.
That'll be fun.
That will be.
Going with Pat Kelly? Is that the one you're going with?
No. That's different.
That's a different thing.
That's a totally different
promotion.
Thing. That's right, yes.
Let's not mix promotions here.
Please not.
So you're saying that Mick Jagger is going to be at the Thunderbirds game?
No, I'm not saying that.
Falcons game.
Thunderbirds.
Indians.
Thunderbirds.
Okay.
Without the burden of having to be with Pat Kelly.
See, that's the prize, not having Pat Kelly there. You want to laugh?
I do really want to laugh.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
On Rock 102.
I make you laugh.
Springfield's classic rock.
A little girl was riding her new bike and pulled up to a stoplight, and a police officer on a horseback pulled up to the same stoplight, looked at the girl. Cop says, nice bike. Did Santa give that to you? She goes, he sure did. And the cop writes her a $20 citation, says, next year tell you to Santa that the bike is required to have a rear light. And the girl says, yeah, by the way, that's a nice horse. Did Santa give it to you? And he plays along, and he goes, he sure did. He goes, Okay, next year tell Santa that the D is supposed to go under the horse, not on top. Ah, you see? The D. The D is him.
No, I get
It's
it.
not the appendage that's attached to the horse on the bottom. And
I totally understand.
I don't know how this girl knew so much about horse anatomy.
I don't know.
Is she an equestrian?
She must be a farm girl.
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Here's your Western Mass News First Alert Forecast.
A cold start this morning with temperatures starting off in the 20s with a light breeze coming in out of the northwest. So
6:31 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news. It is brought to you by Noonan Energy. Reliable service for heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing at Noonan.com. His local radio icon, Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Max. A firearm was recovered and 2 teenage boys were arrested after a fight outside of Chicopee High School on Tuesday, according to police spokesperson Travis Odiorn. At approximately 2:15 p.m., the school resource officer at Chicopee High was made aware of the fight that was taking place in front of the school at dismissal time. The SRO intervened, leading to a foot chase when a juvenile man ran up Wheatland Avenue and was taken into custody. A juvenile man. We're still back to that. They still haven't changed that. Should I say a male juvenile? Wouldn't that be the right way to say it?
You could say an older juvenile without saying he's a man, because is he really a man?
No, he's not really a man.
I mean, he'll be prosecuted as an adult, I'm sure, but nevertheless.
Or Odiorn adds that as the party began to run away, another party in the area of the disturbance yelled to the SRO that the juvenile may have a firearm. Chicopee police officers were then called in to secure the area. During the investigation, detectives identified a second juvenile in the fight. At around 10:22 p.m., he was taken into custody and a firearm was recovered. Both teenagers who were arrested are not Chicopee High School students. 22 News spoke with Jess, a Chicopee Public Schools parent who expressed her concerns. I have a little cousin that goes there, so I was very nervous. I think it's going to get worse if they don't get strong on this. I think they should put metal detectors at each school in Chicopee. According to the district website, yeah, but the incident took place outside of the school, and it was 2 kids that didn't even go there. The metal detector is only going to protect the people going in the place.
Right, not the ones that are on the outside with guns.
According to the district website, Chicopee High and Chicopee Comp each have 1 school resource officer stationed full-time. That also checks in on 6 or 7 other schools in the district. In addition, the district introduced metal detectors at its middle schools and high schools in April and uses them for periodic screenings. They are not used at any building below the middle school level. After-school activities at the Chicopee High and DuPont Middle School were suspended on Tuesday as the police conducted the investigation. The school was not placed in lockdown due to the timing of dismissal and the incident happening coincidentally. The 16-year-old from Chicopee was arrested and charged with all kinds of things, and so was the 15-year-old boy. Possessing a firearm without an FID card, and assault with a dangerous weapon, and yada, 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 assault and battery.
You just yada yada know the best part.
I mentioned the possession of a firearm without an FID card. Wasn't that a good enough excuse?
I guess.
What do you mean, you guess?
Well, I mean, I'd like to hear a little bit more.
Let's see. A Southwick man was arrested and is facing fentanyl trafficking charges after being pulled over for a suspended license on November 26th. And this is why we're hearing about it just now.
December 12th. December 7th.
Well, it took a while for the West Springfield police to process all those things.
They got so many other things going on.
Well, we have a think tank about what information we're going to release.
Jesus.
According to the Mass State Police, on November 26th, Trooper Joshua Gagnon was conducting patrol on I-91 northbound in West Springfield when he noticed a Ford Fusion sedan drifting out of the marked lanes. Trooper Gagnon ran a check of the registration, revealing that the owner's license was suspended for failure to pay child support. After stopping the Ford, Trooper Gagnon identified Frederick Jezierski of Southwick as the registered owner. A search of Jezierski's person uncovered a knife in his pocket along with several individual packages commonly associated with fentanyl in the bundling. Jezierski was arrested, and a more extensive search of the vehicle was initiated with the assistance of troopers Brett Goldsmith and Derek Desereau. They really like releasing all the troopers' names when, like, you go to any other town and they're like, it's Detective Bob. Like,
right?
I can understand like why you'd want to protect the name. You don't want people like looking up the names of
course
the cops or whatever. But it's like the state police. They're like the honey badger. They just don't give a F.
Yeah, you're right.
They're just like, yeah, this is Trooper Brett Goldsmith.
You know what's odd to me about this story? And yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe just because I got a little experience in this. Dude's got money for buying a knife. He's got money for fentanyl, but he doesn't have enough money to support his kids. Now, it seems to me, if you're paying child support and the court has ordered you to do that, as a guy who has done that, I got to tell you, I can't afford knives and I can't afford fentanyl. All I can do is afford the child support payments on time.
He didn't just have some fentanyl. He had a lot of fentanyl.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes you got to put money up front for that kind of inventory, and I'm just saying, well, if he's got that kind of money, why not write his ex a check?
The search yielded concerning findings, including a hunting knife, a collapsible baton, and approximately 7,575 packages of fentanyl, totaling over 151 grams, or basically 6 ounces of it. The illegal substances were discovered under the passenger seat and on the rear seat floorboards. Dzierski was booked, photographed, and fingerprinted at the Springfield barracks. He was subsequently arraigned in Springfield District Court on multiple charges. Good thing it took 2 weeks to do all that.
Good thing.
Yeah. 2 people were arrested after illegal firearms and drugs were seized after a traffic stop in Springfield on Tuesday evening. According to Ryan Walsh, at around 8 p.m. on Tuesday, officers saw his SUV run a stop sign while speeding around King Street and Northampton Avenue. When officers got in their cruisers, the driver ran a red light without stopping. Well, that's an offense, Bob. Let's go. Turn the red lights on, and the blue ones, too.
Right.
As officers conducted a traffic stop near the intersection of Chapel and Eastern Avenue, they could smell burnt marijuana, and the vehicle was full of smoke. It was like Cheech and Chong driving down the street.
Well, that would be a clue that maybe marijuana smoking was going on in that vehicle.
The driver, 19-year-old Jaden Anderson, had crack cocaine, 120 bags of heroin, and more than $400 in cash. The passenger, 19-year-old Jasa Johnson, got out of the car, and officers located a firearm on the passenger seat. Johnson was then placed under arrest. When officers searched the vehicle, they found several bags of marijuana, a digital scale, a second firearm in the center console. The firearm was reported stolen out of Georgia. Anderson was arrested, and 2 woman passengers. 2 woman passengers?
It says woman?
Yeah, including a juvenile. Well, wait a minute. Was there a juvenile woman?
Wait, right. Or a juvenile man.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. 2 women passengers.
Women is the plural form, and in this case, you should say 2 female passengers.
I'm trying to think of the clergy in the Princess Bride. 2 women passengers.
Marriage,
including a juvenile, were arrested.
arrested for quack cocaine.
Oh, man. You imagine that, a car full of girls, and you're hanging around with this guy? It's all right, baby. Don't worry about it. Everything's going to be all right, okay? And then all of a sudden, you have to call your parents in the middle of the night. Mom and Dad, I got arrested.
For what? Well,
Remember that guy you told me not to hang out with? We're in jail.
He brought all his drugs and guns and scales, and we've got 2 teenage girls in the car.
What did I tell you? One of the things that I saw, I learn a lot of my life lessons from TikTok videos.
Understandable.
And one of the things was from this lawyer who said, if you're ever in a situation where you're calling your parents because you're in some sort of legal trouble, do not by any means say on the phone, Mom, Dad, I really screwed up. Just say, Mom, I've been arrested. I need to get bailed out. That's all you need to say, because anything else you say is going to be recorded
right,
and used against you at a later time, because they will do that.
Yeah, that's why you have the right to remain silent.
Yeah.
The only thing you should say is, Mom, Dad, could you send a lawyer to the police station?
So I told my kids, if you ever get involved in any sort of criminal enterprise, just say you don't know anything. Deny.
Yeah, just say Mr. Bax and Nagle's your father.
Right. Yeah, right. You mean Bax did that with the fentanyl? By the way, two people, we talked about this yesterday. 2 people were arrested in Coleraine for allegedly killing a deer illegally on Saturday, and we do have a little bit more information this morning.
Whoa. You've got a follow-up story?
Yes, only because I got it from another source.
Oh,
yeah.
I was going to say,
According-
who's providing that kind of service?
According to the Mass State Police, troopers along with members of the environmental police were notified around 6:30 p.m. that a person in Coleraine saw a person shoot a deer from inside of a pickup truck from the road on the front lawn of a home in Shelburne Line Road. State police conducted a traffic stop of the suspected vehicle, a gray Toyota Tacoma pickup truck, further down the road. 2 people inside the vehicle were dressed in camouflage and firearms were visible in the back seat. Brothers, 46-year-old Ira B. Dool and 51-year-old Seth O'Doul, which I'm sure they weren't drinking O'Douls because...
that's how you keep your edge.
One from Worthington and one from Coleraine were arrested. Police seized a loaded .22 caliber rifle, another rifle, 4 muzzle loaders, 2 shotguns, a loaded handgun, and over 300 rounds of ammunition, 4 thermal scopes, and a gray fox that was killed that morning.
Oh, my God. Why'd you have to say a fox?
Why? Because I'm just saying.
Because I would have played the song, and I don't have that handy.
Well, I didn't know we were going to talk about that. Ballistic evidence was also recovered from the illegally killed buck that was lying on the road and indicates it was shot with .22 caliber slugs. These guys look like pretty smart dudes. I'm Larry, Daryl, and my other brother Daryl, who's no longer with us because we accidentally shot him on a poaching trip.
Right.
Yeah. State police are investigating whether they are habitual poachers responsible for past reported incidents. They were arraigned in Greenfield District Court and released on bail for hunting from a vehicle, carrying a loaded shotgun rifle in a vehicle, and hunting out of season for a fox. And you know what? Nobody can speak for the fox.
No, and I can't. I can't tell you.
Get onto it.
No, I can't get onto it.
Right. Well, see, we tried. We tried doing that.
I mean, normally during rehearsals, we would have figured this out ahead of time, but I don't have it.
Rehearsals? Are you kidding me? We don't have anything called rehearsals around here.
I'm just saying.
It's too late now. Like, we can't do it now.
Is it too late to say what the fox is?
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah, but see, we had the whole thing edited in there.
Yeah, I know, and it's impossible to find that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Fine.
We're
We
not
don't
gonna
need
bother.
to do that. Let's see. What else? How about this guy? 3 men in Oklahoma were arrested for stealing Dr. Pepper. And this wasn't a $5 crime. They stole $100,000 worth of Dr. Pepper.
$100,000 worth of Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
You gotta really like Dr. Pepper.
The men would steal pallets of Dr. Pepper syrup from a warehouse. The syrup was in 5-gallon bags within boxes. The boxes would then be sold to places like gas stations, which would then sell the individual big gulp fountain drinks. It was an inside job, and thieves had the same plan. They would sell the pallets to a gas station for less than the original price and pocket the money. 2 of the men used to work at Dr. Pepper, and one admitted that he started stealing pallets while he was working there. He stole about 10 pallets worth almost $40,000 while he was employed, and has been stealing 2 or 3 pallets a week since he quit in August. The third culprit was the guy at the gas station. He apparently knew he was getting stolen syrup, and that's why it was so cheap. All 3 men are now facing felony charges.
Oh, that's too bad.
I must have had like 6 Dr. Peppers. Right? I gotta pay. He just said he gotta pay. You know what? That's like those soda fountain things. That's the moneymaker. When you go into like a restaurant, like let's say you go into a chain restaurant, like let's say you made the decision, a really poor decision to go into Applebee's for a day. Right?
Sure.
And you sit down, they charge you $3.99 for a soda. But
really?
But it's unlimited refills. Unlimited.
Yeah,
So
but what's it cost? What's it cost per cup?
That's what I'm saying.
It's like pennies.
Pennies on the dollar for how much this stuff costs. And they're charging, that's a huge upcharge to get that machine to mix the CO2 with the syrup to get your perfect Dr. Pepper. And that's the moneymaker right there is the soda machine.
That's an outrage.
I'm going to start selling soda up here.
You should.
I'm going to get a fountain.
Why not?
You know, I tried to look for one of those a few years ago, and nobody has them. Like, for rent, I was going to rent them for the big party that I put on.
You couldn't get a soda fountain?
there wasn't many people who rented them. I think you had to you find somebody who had like a truck.
Yeah. Well, if you bought one outright, you'd have Barry at your house all the time.
I need to get one of those ones like they'd have the MGM with the
yes,
putting all the different flavors into them.
That's right. Between cotton candy and soda fountains, that's how you get Barry to your house.
I still have that video of him showing the hooker how to use the machine, and then you put your flavor in here with your cream soda. Yeah.
Do you want a date? No, but I do want a soda. Let me show you how this works.
Yeah, that's his thoughts and prayers was right there. Showing you how to use the soda machine. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today, it is going to be cloudy with a high of 36. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 42. It's 22 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Ah, yeah.
GG Inc.'s Screen Print.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock at 6:54 and Bad Company with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Cloudy today with a high of 36. It's 22 right now in downtown Springfield.
Rock 102 and Feel Good Shop Local want to hook you up for the holidays. Over 50 local businesses on that site. You can do all your holiday shopping from the comfort of your home and help support local business. Go to rock102.com and sign up to win a $250 gift certificate to Feel Good Shop Local. We'll choose another winner on the 18th. It's your chance to win with feelgoodshoplocal.com and Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock. I just came across this gallery of pictures that some woman had taken this past weekend of the Paramount, the Hippodrome in Springfield. This is what her post said. Had an awesome opportunity to photograph the Paramount Hippodrome in Springfield this past weekend. The Paramount, built in 1926, costing over $1 million as part of the Grand Massasoit House Hotel. 1999, it was renovated and turned into the Hippodrome, a popular nightclub which later closed in 2015 due to a shooting at a Dipset concert. It now sits abandoned and naturally decaying. I'm looking at these pictures, and I mean, you just can't even imagine the decay of this beautiful historical building.
Yeah.
And what a mess it's become over the years. Now, this has been purchased many years ago, and in spite of the promise that renovations would happen and they would save this building, I gotta tell you, it's
a
shocking.
Shame. It's a damn shame, and I can't believe somebody hasn't come along and said we could make a ton of money off this place if we just redid it. Because, listen, people want to go out and about to like live shows and things like that. If you had another venue in downtown Springfield where you could offer something else, this would be it.
I remember, going to shows in this in the Paramount, thinking, "My God, what a beautiful building this is!" And if you look at these pictures, and we just posted them on the Bax and Nagle Facebook page, it's just like it's depressing because there had been money put aside for a new renovation, and that money was never spent.
Where is the money?
I don't know where that money is. I understand that one of the problems is they needed to fix the roof because it had been leaking badly, and that's one of the problems. That's why you see so much mold all over the place.
Well, you think that would have been the first thing you fixed with the money that you got?
Yeah, to me, this is like one of these structures that needs to be restored. You don't see architecture like this anywhere. I mean, there are other theaters that are beautiful. The Calvin is very nice. The Academy of Music is very nice. But this is every bit as beautiful, if not as beautiful, as some of those other places. Can you imagine if we had done the live show at the Paramount?
That would have been cool.
That would have been fantastic. And it's just a shame to see what's happened to it.
Yeah.
And I hope that somebody at some point can take this and do something with it, because I would hate to see this get torn down, because you're almost at the point now where it appears that it may be.
This is it's almost shameful to just have a place like this just sitting there rotting away with no care to it at all.
You used to go to the Hippodrome, right?
Yeah, well, probably back, let's see, 2003 or 4, I used to go there. You go with a bunch of friends, and they had the nightclub going on. You could see all the bands that were playing down there, all the local bands.
And the place was slamming back then.
But wicked slamming. And, you'd probably spend a lot of money in there, too.
Well, I hope to God that at some point we can save this, because it would be a tragedy to see something like this have to be torn down in Springfield. It's It's too important and it's too beautiful to just ignore and let this thing decay the way it's falling apart.
No.
Awful.
Looks like
really depressing.
Looks like the Basketball Hall of Fame right now. Falling apart.
No, it's the Basketball Hall of Fame is a nicer building.
Is it?
Yes, it's a much nicer place.
I don't know. I haven't been in there in a few years.
You should go. There's plenty of parking.
No reason to.
Yeah, but let's hope that someone can save this, because this is really something in Springfield that needs to be saved.
It's a damn shame.
It is, Steve. I'm right with you.
Yeah.
But good job with Jessica Dion, who took these pictures. Amazing. It's 6:59. Marty Caproni will be joining us. Also, Scott Zolak later on this morning, too. It's Bax and Nagle at Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Good people, rock solid service at every Rocky's Ace Hardware.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? As many of you know, there's nothing that makes me more physically uncomfortable than watching the New York Yankees make exceptional trades for high-priced talent. I'm not a big fan. Sure, I can handle the Red Sox trading Alex Verdugo for a couple of right-handed pitchers that might never make the full-time roster. I can accept they're already 2 years deep into the 9-year, $360 million contract with Aaron Judge, despite the fact he missed 42 games last year with an injured toe. What I'm unwilling to accept is that the Yankees have just completed a 7-player deal with the San Diego Padres in exchange for 3-time All-Star slugger Juan Soto, who is arguably one of the most gifted hitters in baseball. Here's what happened. Yesterday, the Yankees gave up another trio of right-handed pitching, just like they did the other day just like they gave to the Red Sox for Alex Verdugo. They include Michael King, Johnny Brito, and Randy Vasquez. They also gave up a pitching prospect, Drew Thorpe, and catcher Kyle Higashioka. In exchange, the Yankees also get outfielder Trent Grisham, who will likely never see the light of day, since the Yankees now have an outfield of Soto, Judge, and Verdugo. Now, I should probably point out that Soto is currently on a 1-year contract that's paying him $27 million a year, and that's after turning down a 15-year deal worth $440 million with the Nationals back in 2022. But for that money, the Yankees are getting a guy who batted .275, 35 home runs, and 109 RBIs. This is why I say that everything about this trade sucks. Why? Because the Yankees, while they're busy dishing out junk to bolster an outfield that's going to be loaded with studs, the Red Sox fans are waiting for a recently hired general manager Craig Breslow to do something equally as delicious. And that simply hasn't happened yet. Why? I don't know. Am I being impatient? Am I being consumed with pessimism and resignation? I'm really trying hard not to be. But I'm also looking at what's going on here. The Yankees have just improved themselves in baseball's toughest division, and the Red Sox have not. And with last season's last place finish, I'd like to see a little bit more action coming out of the front office, and making trades with the Yankees doesn't exactly fill me with confidence. At least not yet. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Sure, it's a little piece of plastic, but boom! It's a steel chainsaw, a Weber grill, it's a DeWalt impact driver kit. That's the holiday magic of a Rocky's gift card. It makes dreams come true. Get gift cards at any Rocky's Ace Hardware locations and have yourself a merry little holiday. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock at 7:12, and Aerosmith with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Cloudy with a high of 36 today. Sunny with a high of 42 tomorrow. It's 22 right now in downtown Springfield.
What a delight to welcome back the unflappable Marty Caproni back in the studio. There you go.
Hey, guys.
Hey, I'm just wondering, and I don't know if you've heard about this thing. There is a comedy club in Chicopee. That is offering up not only a show, but dinner for the low price of a pre-Venmo ticket of $20, $25 at the door.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors of this, and I've heard that tonight, maybe other people have heard this rumor, that you and myself will also be there.
Yes. Yes,
So-
I've heard that too.
This hack night, is that what this is?
Yes, yeah.
It's always hack night when we're doing it. But yeah, tonight I'll be headlining the Loft Comedy Club.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. Last time we did it was fun. We just kind of threw it together. This time we've actually planned a little bit, which is nice. Built a good lineup around it. We have a buddy of mine, Alex G. and Papa, coming out from Boston, too. So we're going to have a real good lineup, and we're going to have a good time. It's Italian night, too, because that's the next thing. Everyone always sends the message. What's for dinner tonight?
Pasta.
Do you know I had a lady, she commented on the ad that I put up, and she was like, I know you guys are having meatballs, but for those of us that don't eat meat, is there possible for us to have turkey meatballs or chicken meatballs?
Well, those are meatballs.
God. I said for $20.
Yeah.
So I was like, for allergies or dietary concerns, sometimes the chef will make an accommodation if we know ahead of time. But I can't promise that we'll make meatballs for you. Maybe it'll be a slab of grilled chicken or something. You can
How about this idea? How about you eat before you go and don't worry about inconveniencing everybody else in the staff?
How about there you go, or just have the pasta without the meatballs. It's a good thing too,
People sometimes don't think when they open their mouths, and they don't realize what a deal they're getting at $20. It's $20. Like, where else can you get a show and a meal for $20?
It brings up a good question there.
So here's the best part. So just asking that question, it was on the ad that I pay for on Facebook.
Yeah.
It was $3.82 for her to ask that question.
Yeah. See, and now you got the rest of it left in comedy.
So I'm already in the negative on that one, but.
But the View Street Tavern, that must be getting pretty. Listen, with all the talk we do about this place, that guy must be making money hand over fist over there.
You'd think, I know they have. He has dueling pianos and bands and all this stuff.
That good stuff.
Last I knew, I had mentioned that looking for bartenders and some kitchen help, and I heard that there was quite a push of people who've been coming in and dropping resumes off for bartending. So.
Because you can't continue to do it all by yourself.
Well, listen,
I saw you slewing martinis the last time we were there.
I'm the worst bartender that there is. I'm terrible at it. It's ADD. It makes you fun. Well, Bax knows. We did a celebrity bartender. Do you remember that? We did it for the Hampden County Legal Defense Fund.
Yeah.
We did a celebrity bartender thing where you put the things in the jar, and then it was a contest, Bax versus me. So I'm already at a disadvantage, And I'm out there just trying to get people, and I had seen Bax kind of clink his jar with the stick and be, hey.
Yeah.
So I go, I'm going to do what Bax does, So I take my thing and I hold it up and I hit it with the stick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Wherever I hit it exactly, it was like a movie, the acoustic tone. I went dink, and the whole jar just goes blam,
smashes all over the place.
Blew into the ice bin, ice bin where all the drinks are getting made with the ice bin. So they have to literally
empty the
ice bin.
Yeah,
clean it all out to make sure there's no glass.
Yeah,
in
you don't want
drinks.
somebody choking on a piece of shard of glass.
I was there for 2 hours. I managed to ruin the place in 2 hours.
Yeah. Long story short, I won.
Yeah.
Where was this place?
It wasn't even close.
It was at the old Adolfo's.
Yeah, we didn't even bother counting.
You didn't even bother counting.
It was clearly obvious Bax had won. Yeah.
Well, it's because listen, this is that is where I shine. I shine nowhere else but at celebrity bartending, where I will shake everybody down on the bar no matter how close they are sitting to the bar.
You were really enjoying. I think you were really enjoying it. Like you were enjoying going up to like a judge and being like, "Hey, what's up? It's Baxy. Put some money in the jar. Hey, you enjoy the show? Why don't you pay somebody?" I was over here like, "Hey guys," trying to explain what my quote unquote celebrity status was. I tell jokes sometimes. Okay.
Who is this guy?
Yeah, pretty much.
You're like when they do those celebrity bartending nights. You get like one guy that everybody recognizes, and the rest of them are like, "This is the assistant to the assistant manager over at the bank." It's her name's Marcia. She's a really nice lady. Yeah.
I just got someone through here that they hit me up, and of course, in the true sense of community that you guys have inspired in me, I said yes to it. But I am going to be a celebrity ice cream scooper, but that's in January, so I don't know what we're going to get for a turnout.
Who's I'm sorry. Who's the marketing person in this? The ice cream in the middle of January?
I mean, I've heard the ice cream place is amazing.
Well, I'm sure it is. I'm just saying, that just doesn't match up. You know what I mean?
No.
You want to do it like a hot July day for a fundraiser, do it at the ice cream place. You'll get thousands of people.
Well, I mean,
out
if
there.
you're really connected to the charity, I would go to an ice cream shop in January.
well,
Why not?
Then I think people will turn out for it. How much I'm going to be able to scoop is going to be fun, too. What if I wake up, you guys see me with the gout? What if I wake up with the gout that morning? I got 2 lobster claws. I'm going to be in there trying to scoop.
Like Quasimodo's.
What ice cream shop is it?
It's a great question that you've asked. I know it's a home craft ice cream. Let me see if I can find it. It's not until January, so it's kind of even silly to.
Yes, Lord, this is the praline you asked for.
So let's see. Okay, it's
Listen, you got like 2 hours to look it up. You don't have to worry about it right now.
Batch Ice Cream.
Oh, in Longmeadow.
Is that where it is?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
That's a good place.
So it will be. It's on Martin Luther King Day. So I'll be scooping ice cream on Martin Luther King Day.
Dr. King would have wanted it that way.
Now listen, just a PSA for this place, this Batch Ice Cream. If you are a former Hamden County Sheriff's member, do not expose yourself in the parking lot. This is not the kind of ice cream place to do that in. You do that stuff over in Enfield across the border.
Yeah, they don't have a.
I feel like I missed a news story.
There was a news story that came out last summer of a guy who was in a parking lot in Enfield at an ice cream shop.
Okay.
And the ice cream was so delicious that all he could do was somehow open his pants and relieve himself manually.
While he was watching,
What?
he had porn on the car stereo. Like it was like through the Bluetooth.
I'm not condoning that behavior, but hear me out. Hear me out. What a great day. Maybe you just having a day. You know, women are like, I need a me day. I go to the spa. I'm going to get my brows done and a facial. This guy was like, I'm having a little me day.
A little
ice
spa
cream,
day.
A little ice cream, a little porn, a little personal time.
A little happy ending for yourself at the end.
The thing I didn't understand is, wouldn't you need like a third hand?
I have enough trouble just hanging on to the cone and not getting it all over the car.
Right.
This guy's another level, man. Holy smokes.
Well, the point is, don't do that at Batch.
No, don't.
No.
They won't like that at the Longmeadow shops.
Right.
But so apparently it's this is a cool thing. It's in conjunction with like a group that they support foster and adoptive families. So they whatever the gap is between the state and everything else, I think they fill in
that's
that.
a good cause.
Yeah, it's a real good cause. And it's I think Martin Luther King said it best when he said, "Ask not what I can scoop for you," or whatever. Something.
I believe that would have been Kennedy.
Yeah,
but
it would have been
you're
Kennedy.
the same time frame.
Same guy. Yeah. You guys tell. Did I tell you what an idiot I am? You guys?
No, we just assumed.
Okay, good. You guys figured it out on your own? I usually wake up every morning and I try to feel good, and then I always have this thing. It's like as you get older, it's almost like therapy where you try to feel good for the people, and you say to yourself, "Hey, if someone's doing good, it doesn't mean you're doing bad. You should be happy for them."
Right.
I mean, that's the way I generally feel. If I wake up and I see someone doing well, I'm like, good for them. But I woke up this morning, man, and I saw my buddy, I got a buddy. I woke up and I saw my buddy from high school, Dan Begin, a native of Hamden, Mass.
Yeah.
He joined the Air Force. He got an Air Force Academy full ride when we were seniors and everything. He became a fighter pilot and everything else. And last I knew, he was a pilot for Delta, flying international, everything. We keep in touch here and there. He got sworn in as a brigadier general.
Look at that.
Yeah, and I'm driving here, like as Bax eloquently put it, to say fart jokes on the radio.
Yeah, well,
I am such a loser.
You could be a brigadier general.
Yeah, but it's not an indication of whether you've succeeded in life. It's just you've succeeded less. That's it.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. Nothing in my job, and I think probably your guys' job, has ever required an oath.
Yeah, well, maybe a sworn witness testimony.
Yeah, no,
perhaps.
That's
not
true.
an oath.
That's true.
We've been deposed a couple of times. Yeah,
That's true.
There's been plenty of.
I forgot about those issues.
Yeah.
But in this case, I'm like, wow, look at Dan. So now we got a general.
Well, look at
Cathedral High School, class of 1992, has a general.
Look at all the great people coming out of Cathedral.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not there anymore. But
well, look at all the great people that came out of Cathedral
before it got blown over.
Before it got bulldozed.
Before it got
blown up.
Before God smited it with his right hand, purposefully and intentionally.
Well, he knew he could get the insurance money if he did the right job.
I always said it was proof that he answered prayers. It's just sometimes it takes him 20 years to get around to it. Because I used to sit around and be like, God, I wish this place would just get blown over.
God answers all your prayers.
That request is just sitting on his desk. He's like, well, what do we got today? Oh,
it's a miracle.
Marty Kid, yeah.
Yeah, like we just got to that one on the list. Yeah.
Well, since I've knocked over that Catholic school, I might as well at least knock over a couple buildings where they can build a casino.
Yeah.
It's the very least I could do.
Well, that was the other thing. You guys were talking about the Hippodrome, and Mike Barrasso, who owned the Hippodrome, him and Steve, a dear friend of mine, and we've had some business together. And I remember when he bought that place, he poured millions of dollars into that place and everything else. And then the city ended up taking it from them. No coincidental relation to the fact that they were looking for a location for a casino at the time, of course. And the day that they signed it over by eminent domain, it was like 2 p.m. They walked out of the meeting, and the clouds were black, and they were like, wow, the clouds look real rough. By the time he got home, the tornado had come through and wiped out the south end where the casino is now. And now it has sat there in disrepair. Someone should give it back to him. That's my feeling.
I'm telling you, the pictures I showed you a little while ago, they're unbelievable what's happened, the kind of decay and damage has been done to that building.
And do you remember how beautiful it was when they opened it, when it was the Hippodrome?
Yeah. I remember like the first week I got into town.
Yeah.
There was I think Steve Winwood played there. And we went to the show. It was a great show. And it's like the first time I'm at any real event in Springfield. I'm like, man, what a beautiful,
classy facility
this is.
Yeah.
Absolutely stunning.
And so they've had it for now, when did the casino hit? 2009? So what's that? That's over 10 years, right?
2011, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2011.
Yeah.
Was this a tornado?
Yeah.
All right, so it's still over 10 years, right?
Yeah.
It's 12 years ago. Why shouldn't they just give it back then? If they've shown that they haven't done anything, can they give it back to them?
I don't know, but it would be a shame.
I'm not a lawyer, but
it would be a shame to see that building have to be torn down because it's
those pictures are heartbreaking.
They are. They really are.
It really is in a state of disrepair.
We'll have more with Marty Caproni at 7:25 on Rock 102. It's 7:28 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. We'll have Scott Zolak coming up after 8 o'clock, and today is also a Thunderbird Thursday. Your chance to win a big fat prize package for this Saturday's game against the Bridgeport Islanders. So that's all coming up later on today.
So Judy Matt's coming in here later on today too.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Shut up! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
What?
Probably some kind of good snack.
Oh, I'm sure there will be. No, remember the holiday concert we talked about? She was there and she was coming in today.
Okay.
So there you go.
Hey, listen, anytime she wants to come on, I'm good with that. Good for Judy. Beautiful.
Yes.
She's a nice lady.
Sweet Judy Blue Eyes.
Yes.
They wrote that song for her.
I don't think it was her.
Are you sure?
Well, she's got brown eyes.
But it's sweet, SUITE, like a musical suite, right?
Yes, like a hotel room.
Right.
Yeah, right.
This is the sweet Judy Blue Eyes. The SWEET.
This is why this show is so damn popular, because we're going through like spelling and definitions. Yeah. This is why it's so.
I like to picture someone in their car with a notebook open right now, writing down their homework. SUITE.
Well, I told you I learned all my spelling from that. What's the Good Word album with the dictionary? You remember that one?
Yes.
What?
We'll have to play that one.
You'll have to play it. Yeah. You'll appreciate it.
I learned mine from Bill Cosby.
Really?
There you go. Yeah. Do you remember he had a TV show and he used to have the little pen and the pen would go.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And you could send away for the pen. It was $1. And you sent it in an envelope to him, and you get the. Now I didn't realize that you didn't get the real pen that made the. You got like a cardboard cutout that went around the pen or whatever. I sent him $3.
Never got the pen.
Never got the pen.
Never got the pen?
Never got the pen.
Well, because the goofies cost $5 a shot, and I was short $2, and I had to get $2 somewhere else.
Never got the pen.
I like pudding pop.
Now, if you contacted Bill Cosby looking for a drink, he would have been able to, he might have accommodated you. There'd be fulfillment there.
Never got a pen, but I slept like a baby after I licked these self-addressed stamped envelope.
We got news coming up next to Rock 102.
Here's your Western Mass News First Alert Forecast.
7:33 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102. It's time for news, and it is brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-on bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. His local radio icon, Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. A firearm was recovered, and 2 teenage boys were arrested after a fight outside of Chicopee High School on Tuesday afternoon. According to Chicopee police spokesperson, approximately 2:15 p.m., the school resource officer at the high school was made aware of the fight that was taking place in front of the school at dismissal time. The SRO intervened, leading to a foot chase where a juvenile man ran up Wheatland Avenue and was taken into custody. Not a male juvenile, a juvenile man. The spokesperson adds that as the party began to run away, another party in the area of the disturbance yelled to the SRO that the juvenile man may have a firearm. Chicopee officers were then called to secure the area, and during the investigation, the detectives identified a second juvenile who was involved in the fight, and at around 10:22 p.m., he was taken into custody and a firearm was recovered. Both teenagers were arrested and are not Chicopee High School students.
Oh, great.
You don't even go here!
You see, I have a friend from another school.
Why does juvenile man remind me so much of like a little person with an overactive pituitary gland? I mean, it doesn't even make any sense.
It's a juvenile man. My voice has changed, but my body has not grown.
It sounds like it'd be a great song, like a, you know what I mean, like an 80s rock song.
Well, I was thinking
Man.
Particle Man by They Might Be
Giants, yeah.
Juvenile man, doing the things a juvenile can. What's he like? It's not important. Juvenile man.
I heard you say earlier on my way, a juvenile woman, they said too, right? Or no, it was a...
No, that was another story. It said two
women in a car.
Two women, yeah. Why
Two
would you
woman-
say 2 female passengers?
Because it's 22 News. Spelled
And they don't know the difference between singular and plural.
By the way, that's spelled Nooze. News. That's how we spell it around here.
Kind of like the band New Shoes, where the shoes are spelled wrong.
Working for yous.
22 News
Yeah.
working for you.
YOOS.
Yeah. Like, or you live in the South Shore. It's like working for Yuz.
According to the district website, Chicopee High and Chicopee Comp each have one school resource officer stationed full-time that also checks in on 6 or 7 other schools in the district. In addition, the district introduced metal detectors at its middle schools and high schools back in April and uses them for periodic screenings. But these kids didn't go to the high school. They were outside the school.
Yeah.
They weren't in the school at any time. So...
All I could think about is what a crappy day at work that is for the SRO guy, you know, the school resource officer. Because you get that gig and you kind of, it's like one of those gigs where they give you it and you're probably like, phew. Yeah, I don't have to deal with the dregs of society pulling people over on the side of the road anymore. You know, it should be all right. And
except
and now you find yourself running through a neighborhood chasing a guy who may have a gun.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know, when in Rome. I mean, that's kind of a Chicopee thing, isn't it?
Oh, come
Isn't
on.
it really his job to just chase him out of the school building?
Yeah, that's it. Should be like you play hide and seek or tag or whatever. Like once he's past the line of the property, like all right.
Oh, he's
And don't you come back.
Don't you? My job here is done.
Guys, I'm safe. I'm safe. Can't come after me after this point.
No, you got to yell a TV show out. A TV show. Remember you played TV tag? Do you guys ever do that?
No.
You never played TV tag?
I played that.
I'm
Sure.
sorry. What's TV tag?
You would play tag, and then as they would tag you, if you wanted to be safe, you had to yell out a TV show.
Like what?
You know, you'd be like let's say the 3 of us are playing, right?
Yeah.
And it'd be like, cheers! And you'd be like, I can't tag him. And you got to run and tag the other person.
What's the point of that?
Well, that's, I mean...
It's a
what's
kid.
the
It's
point
a
of
kid's
anything
game.
that kids play?
It's not really. There's not a lot of
But
thought
I'm
to it.
criticizing it now because I've never heard of this this game played before, and I just I'm fascinated.
I realize you guys probably didn't have TV in Syracuse.
I'm fascinated by your belief system.
What's that? It's not a belief. This isn't a religion. It's not a religion.
It's the Festivus of
It's-
kids
yeah,
games.
right.
I got a lot of problems with you children.
Yeah.
You guys probably played a version of that in Syracuse where, like, you as they tag you, you had to yell out a crime or a felony or whatever you guys had up there. Or
Yes, it was called assault, and I would have to call the police in order to stop myself from being assaulted. Because people would want to beat me up all
I
the
can't
time.
believe you never played TV tag.
Never played TV.
Did you ever play flashlight tag?
Flashlight tag I played, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's about it.
Well, it's the same concept. Or freeze tag?
Yeah, freeze tag.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, but where did the TV show thing come in? I don't understand. Was that just something funny to add?
Well, back then, you got to understand there was only like 3 major networks on television, so you only had a certain number of shows. So where the game would get fun is once everyone had said the shows that were on, now you're scrambling in your head to think of a show.
Yeah, 'cause you can't say somebody else's show. So like if I said Gilligan's Island and then another kid got tagged and he said Gilligan's Island, well, that's not good enough.
Right, now you're it. But this is before Netflix and Amazon and Hulu and everything else.
You got a finite number of shows.
Right, now there's 900 shows. You can just make up shows as they tag you, and they just be like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, you start yelling off YouTube originals.
Yeah, or
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it wouldn't
But
work.
but you couldn't play TV tag with like a TV guide in your hand because that's cheating.
That would be yes.
Oh, that's the Cliff's Notes version of the tag game.
Yes.
Using the
Did you
TV
guys have
guide.
TV Guide in Syracuse, Steve? Before we go on with this, did you guys have TV
I didn't.
Guide?
I was a kid in New Jersey when I
that's
were
even
playing
better.
tag.
Wow.
Even better.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the dork of the neighborhood when you're playing TV tag and you say McNeil Lair report.
Yeah.
You do everything on PBS.
Yeah, right.
Connecting point. WGBY. All right.
Upstairs, downstairs.
A homeless puppy is looking for a new home after a wooden skewer was removed from his stomach.
Ooh.
According to the MSPCA, a 9-month-old Bob arrived at the veterinary nonprofit organization in November after he was surrendered by his owner to Boston Animal Control, but something was not right. Bob's previous owner mentioned that he had some kind of protrusion on his flank, but we couldn't find anything when he first came to us, said the MSPCA Director of Adoption Centers and Programs, Mike Kiley. After a couple of weeks, it became clear that Bob was in pain, but we weren't sure why, so we brought him to Engel for imaging. That must be the hospital out there. The radiology team found what was causing Bob's pain, a wooden skewer commonly used in food preparation.
So he's becoming a Shih Tzu kebab?
Yes, I guess he would be. Yes, that's perfect.
Like
A
a
schnauzer kebab.
teriyaki skewer.
Yeah.
It seems that Bob ate the skewer and it pierced his stomach, something that is usually immediately clear and requires urgent care. But there are rare instances like this where something small and sharp pierces the stomach wall, but the stomach wall then heals on its own, making the problem much harder to detect.
Oh.
See, that dog was
What's
in
he
pain.
look like? Does they have a picture of him?
Let's see if they show Bob up here. I believe
Someone adopt him?
no, they're looking for somebody to adopt him.
Yeah, right now he's just married.
I don't have the pictures on the video. After the skewer was removed, Bob is now recovered and is looking for his forever family. Interested adopters can submit an adoption inquiry on their website or visit open house hours at the Boston Adoption Center from noon to 3. You can go get them if you want to.
Listen, get yourself a bottle of teriyaki sauce and get down there to adopt Bob. Oh, that's terrible. I see that pulls on my heartstrings.
I know it does. That's why I did it.
Yeah.
I was sick of giving you bad news.
I'm really sad. I love being able to come in. One of my favorite things about if I come in on Thursday, other than to constantly plug the Loft Comedy Club dinner show that Steve will be headlining tonight.
I never heard of that place.
Yeah, it's going to be great. One of my favorite things is talking to Scott Zolak, but one of the things that I always seem to miss is when you guys bring in a puppy and you do the puppy adoption on the air. So
TJO brings him in.
Yeah. I don't know why we never cross paths with the TJO.
Because the dogs come usually in the afternoon. They don't. We don't bring them in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a Pat Kelly thing. Because he does he still does the pet food drive, right?
I believe he does, yeah.
Doesn't that, he does a lot of stuff.
We
for
don't
the
really
animals.
pay much attention to what that kid does.
No, listen, we don't pay much attention to him, but Pat does very good work with the community, with the animals and all that stuff. So I don't want to crap on him all that much. As a person, he's horrible.
Yeah,
But as a
talent, he's
as a
top
lover
notch.
of animals, he's a good guy.
He's top shelf.
I love Pat, and I love dogs.
Yeah.
So,
I can't stand having a conversation with him for more
I
than
know.
30 seconds, but for the animals, he's a great for the
Yeah, but when
animals.
Pat starts drinking from your toilets and scooting on the rug, then you start to you question your choices.
Massachusetts State Police arrested 2 brothers on poaching charges Saturday in Coleraine after recovering a deer and a gray fox that had been shot illegally. Worthington resident Ira Dool, 46, and Coleraine resident Seth O'Dool, 51.
Two different people.
Well, they're brothers. May be responsible for several other poaching incidents that may have been reported in the area and could face further charges, state police said. In a news release, the 2 men are facing charges including hunting from a vehicle, carrying a loaded rifle in a vehicle, hunting deer with a rifle, discharging a firearm near a highway, and hunting a fox out of season. Both were arraigned in Greenfield District Court this week and were able to post bail. On December 2nd, around 6:10 p.m., state police received a report that a deer had been shot from a truck in front of a home on Shelburne Line Road in Coleraine. A trooper responded and noticed a gray Toyota Tacoma nearby that matched the description of the truck. The trooper pulled the truck over and soon noticed that the 2 men in the truck, who were later identified as the Dool brothers, had several unsecured firearms with them. He and another trooper then arrested the 2 men. In the truck, authorities found 2 rifles, 2 shotguns, a loaded handgun, other firearms equipment, and an illegally killed gray fox that appeared to have been shot and beaten. Shooting the thing and then you're beating it? Or beating it, then shoot? What are you doing?
This goes back to one of my theories. Like, I try to be, my dad was a hunter, you know what I mean? And we had that whole conversation with the deer thing the last time I was here.
Right.
I can't believe they even have a fox hunting. You ever see a fox? They're cute. They're like little wild dogs.
They are, but they're also, a nuisance in some way. But if you're, listen, I am totally for hunting because hunting keeps the populations of animals down, and there's people that go out there and do that, and that's the way it should be. That's just kind of how the way things go. But when you're shooting, if the fox is out of season and you're not shooting it in order to protect, like, let's say you had a coop full of chickens or something like that.
Yeah, then build a better chicken coop. Leave the fox alone.
Steve, is there anything in that story that specifically states what the fox says?
What does the fox say? Ding, 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 ding. What the fox say? Pow, 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 pow. Pow, 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 pow. Pow, 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 pow. What the fox say? Hidey, hidey, hidey ho. Hidey, hidey, hidey ho. Hidey, hidey, hidey ho. What the fox say?
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today going to be, you're going to play us out on that?
One of the things I pride myself on coming in here is that this morning show is not like a Nut Hut, like normal, like Z100 morning show.
Well, it kind of can be.
That is the most Z100 Nut Hut radio thing I've ever.
Well, thank you, buddy. We appreciate you coming into the studio.
Coming up, we're going to hear about a restaurant that has $20 for dinner and a comedy show.
It's 7:45, 15 minutes before the hour. Our hard-rocking, flame-throwing, kick-ass, wife-slapping, puppy-kicking rock and roll.
Yeah, don't forget the 40 phone crank call today coming up after 7:10. We'll do that later on this morning. There's lots of sunshine today with a high of 36 tomorrow. Quack, quack. Partly cloudy with a chance of thunder boom booms and a high of 22. It's 21 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the Wacky Morning Show on Wacky 102. Ah!
This is Ryan Pelletier, project manager at Raymond R. Houle Construction.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 7:52 and Fleetwood Mac on Rock 102.
Cloudy today with a high of 36. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 42. It's 22 right now in downtown Springfield. You were talking about being able to pronounce things.
Yeah.
And I had this record when I was a kid. It was actually a hand-me-down from my older brothers and sisters. It was you remember the Peter Pan albums? They were like records.
Were they like plastic or were
they
real?
They were like cheap plastic.
Yeah,
but sometimes a book involved.
This was an actual vinyl record. This was probably from the late 1960s, but it was called What's the Good Word? And it had all of these different songs about what synonyms were. That's where I learned a lot of that stuff when I was a little kid, antonyms and synonyms and onomatopoeia and things like that.
Look at you showing off.
These are the kinds of things that we had to learn all that stuff. And I love this one. This is the song All About the Dictionary. Are you ready?
Okay.
Oh, the dictionary is very necessary. With the dictionary, you'll see. Yes, you really see. That is extraordinary. How the dictionary builds our vocabulary A to Z.
It tells you all about the dictionary.
Yeah, is that what it tells? Is that what you're getting out of that song?
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah.
I'm getting that somebody really messed up the melody or the.
Here's where it gets really good.
Oh, the dictionary is very necessary.
This
Try the
really brings it home with this final one.
Any word that you can cook up, you can look up, pick the book up. The dictionary.
All you kids bring that to school with you this morning and play that for you.
I always thought that sounded like a Red Peter song. You know, that's
what
exactly
I was
kind of thing.
I was gonna. You know what would be good though is if one of the listeners out there that's computer savvy could remix that into a current dance hit type EDM song.
Oh yeah,
that would be awesome.
Absolutely do that. I'm surprised somebody hasn't already done it.
Yeah, I'm surprised none of us have any Molly. We'd be dropping it right now. We'd be dancing all night. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
What's a synonym for tripping my face off? No, I think that, geez, you go back to that stuff, huh? That's how we used to learn.
Yeah, that's They don't have that stuff really anymore.
Like the Schoolhouse Rock. Were you guys too young for that stuff?
No, we as Schoolhouse, we had Electric Company was big.
Electric Company, yes.
You know, and the one of these kids is doing his own thing. That you remember that one too? All the kids would be in a square
on the Electric Company.
And they'd all be throwing I think it was in the Electric Company. They'd all be throwing a ball, and then one kid would be chewing on a hockey puck.
I think that's Sesame Street.
Is that Sesame?
Yeah.
One of these things is not like the other. That one.
Yeah.
That was Sesame Street.
Yeah.
One of these kids is doing his own thing.
Come on, can you guess which one?
Yeah.
Oh well, there.
And I used to just watch it, but it's the kid chewing on the hockey puck. Everyone else has got a baseball glove and a ball.
I used to love the Sesame Street. That was some good stuff.
It was.
It's like I take mushrooms now and go back and watch that psychedelic 8-ball fall through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
They had good jams. Somebody should remix all of those into some EDM songs, and people our age would probably love it.
Let me see if I can find that one. Oh yeah, here it is. You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get 12. And the pinball starts.
Listen to this jam. It sounds like an adult film.
It was an adult film. You don't remember the day Ron Jeremy showed up on the Sesame Street? Wow, Snuffy's got the same sort of nose that you do.
Look at this. Seika and Georgina Spelvin have just arrived.
Do you remember the time that Ron Jeremy showed up with 11 friends? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You really needed that Snuffleupagus then, right there.
Okay, Ron.
It's
7:57 at Rock 102.
Now, Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Good people, rock solid service at every Rocky's Ace Hardware.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, tonight the New England Patriots will be looking to pick up the pieces and put an end to their 5-game losing streak when they travel to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. Now, I should point out, this is hardly the Patriots' longest-lasting losing streak. You'd have to go back to 1990 when they cracked off an amazing 14 losses in a row. That's long before some of you youngsters were even born. Why, you'd have to go back to Tom Brady's freshman year in high school to remember something like that. And yet, here they are, not even halfway to those kinds of numbers. And in other words, you people don't even remember what terrible was. Well, tonight the Patriots are in Pittsburgh looking at the NFL's lowest over-under number in decades at just 30 points, which is strange because you would think that a Bailey Zappi, Mitchell Trubisky showdown would be loaded with explosive production. Well, according to the odds makers, probably not. Now, the biggest problem tonight isn't just the staggering lack of offense. The biggest problem is that tonight's game will be on Amazon Prime Video. Now, you might say, but Baxi, I don't have a Prime membership. What's a guy like me supposed to do? Well, it's early in the day, and for just $139 a year, you can enjoy such amazing benefits as same-day shipping, exclusive access to Amazon Music, gaming, and other various benefits such as Amazon Fresh, Amazon Photos, and all kinds of other things that you'll never get around to using. But more importantly, by not being such a freaking tightwad, you would have full access to tonight's game in Pittsburgh. Isn't that worth at least $139 for an annual subscription? Of course it is. How else you gonna watch the Patriots lose? You gonna go to a bar? You gonna rip off someone else's login information? You gonna do something even crazier like listen to the game on the radio? Please. The only way out of this quandary is to come up with the money and enjoy some of those great benefits that Jeff Bezos has personally set aside just for you. But if that's too much for you, then consider this. By not having the game on network TV with an over-under of 30 points, in which I would take the under, and the possibility of a 6-game losing streak, I think the NFL has just done you a favor. Because for the rest of us, we're going to feel cheated out of $139. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. If you've been thinking, man, my toolbox stinks, I need an upgrade. Well, there's a great deal waiting for you right now at Rocky's. Buy the Milwaukee 22-inch rolling toolbox and the 3-drawer pack-out toolbox. Then you get the Milwaukee large pack-out toolbox for free. Now, that's a heck of a deal, and available right now at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:10 and Def Leppard with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be cloudy today with a high of 36. It's 22 right now in downtown Springfield.
Tonight, Amazon Prime. Bailey.
You just hang up?
Oh, here he goes. Okay, yeah. On Amazon Prime, Bailey Zappi, Mitchell Trubisky. It's going to be a barn burner for the ages. And on the phone with us to talk about it is Scott Zolak. Good morning, Scott. How are you?
Morning, guys. How we doing?
We're doing.
I am on the edge of my seat waiting for the offensive production that you're about to see tonight on Thursday Night Football.
Good for you. I'm trying to rip a plastic cup open to one of these stupid individual coffee makers who make coffee in the room with awful curded milk things that they leave in here. Like, why do people do this?
What do they got you in a Hampton Inn? It sounds like a Hampton Inn.
No, we're at the Marriott.
Oh, wow, fancy.
You'd expect better than that.
How do you leave little cups of half and half out that curdle that need to be chilled? That's what I don't know.
They're not treating you like a Bonvoy member that you are.
That's what happens when you're 2 and 10.
That's it.
Milk.
That's right. They would never treat the Philadelphia Eagles this way.
You know, Scott. Usually, when the Patriots are playing, like on a Thursday, I worry because I have this little comedy show that we do on Thursdays. If you're ever in the neighborhood, it's $20.
I'll have to drive out for it.
You get dinner and a show for $20. But normally I'm worried because we're up against the Patriots. But today I'm excited about it because I know nobody wants to watch the train wreck that we're about to see.
I'm sensing that there's going to be Amazon Prime memberships canceled all over New England tonight.
Well, I mean, first of all, Al Michaels is grumpy to begin with. He hates this Thursday thing. I think he hates Herb Street. He hates the food they bring him. He hates the sound of it. But hey, he's taking $20 million a year, so he should stop complaining.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, being with Amazon today, like, okay, if you throw this past now, in 2 to 3 days, you'll get the delivery.
Honestly, I've watched one game. I think it was like week 2, and the only reason I watch it is because my kid helped me get it on the TV, and after that, I can never get it on again. And I hate the inability to not flip during commercials. So it's useless to me, and I think the sound product's bad. It doesn't sound the same, and it looks a little cloudy.
You know, if I didn't know better, I could have sworn I thought you just admitted that you haven't watched any Patriots games. But I was going to.
Oh no, just the Thursday game.
Oh,
just the Amazon games, which I agree with you because you can never, if you have the Fire Stick, find the remote. It's the size of a Tic Tac. You know what I mean? Every time I try to watch it, where's the remote? I don't know. You know, it's this big.
I don't even know what a Fire Stick is.
Oh, it's terrible.
I lose mine all the time. My kids lose
your Fire Stick.
It's gone. I don't know where it went.
All right, let's go back in time a little bit and talk about that absolute nightmare against the Chargers. 6-0. This puts the Patriots in historical company. No team has scored less than the Patriots have in 3 straight games in about since the Chicago Cardinals, which have been out of Chicago for I don't even know how long, 70 years or so.
I think we're going to go back to 1938, right?
Yeah, 1938. Yeah, Bailey Zappi is clearly not the answer either. So, I mean, where are we at here? I mean, we just practically drove Mac Jones out of town. I mean, can you say that it's the quarterback alone, or can you legitimately say it's way beyond that?
I think he was more steady than Mac was. I mean, it's to what Bill said a week ago. You don't have that roller coaster. Mac Zappi doesn't give you that roller coaster. The ups, the downs, the ins, the outs. They didn't allow him to do much in that first half. But I thought third quarter they started to open it up a little bit. And they were driving second drive of the game. They were at the 30, and that's when Ramondre had that drop tackle, on the back of his leg, and I think he almost broke his leg. Fumbles there. That might have been a different game, but I thought Zappi made some throws in the second half. I mean, it wasn't much better than Mac, but it was better from the sense that they didn't turn the ball over. He didn't turn it over. And that's why he's going to continue to start. And they like him.
Well, I mean, and Ramondre's out, right?
Oh, yeah.
I can't help but watch the offensive line and just whoever you got back there. It's just so porous that it seems like a nightmare, which it makes me wonder if Ramondre had a really decent offensive line, what his production would have been this year. Like would have been top of the league. You know what I mean? Just
it's not only that. Yeah, like they didn't commit to him early to run. Like you look at the utilization. Like last year, we would run him a ton, and the more he carries, the better he gets at games.
Yeah.
But offensive line play is not good in this league. I'm watching that Jacksonville game the other night. Lawrence gets killed because this guy misses a block from the backside, steps on his leg. Philadelphia and the Lions, I think, have the two best offensive lines along with San Francisco. And after that, everybody's pretty much the same as us.
Yeah.
But our skilled people are just so much more worse.
Wouldn't it make sense to put Malik in there just because he's mobile and when the pocket is collapsing, he can, you know what I mean? Or you have the implied threat of somebody who can actually be mobile and run?
Situationally, I think they would, like last week, but the problem was it was a one-score game. It was 6-0 the whole game. And there were times we had the ball at midfield. I think where they wanted to put him in was when we got inside the 20. Yeah. You get down there, now you're 32, that red zone threat, and that situation never came to be. But I think they were going to use him in that. The problem is he just hasn't practiced that much at quarterback. Last week was the first time he worked at quarterback all year. I know he was active for the Vegas game, but he was more of a receiver, and they ran him on a jet sweep, but that was about it. I'm not sure on that. It's just it's a feeling thing, and I think they may not want to get the kid killed too. Because if he gets out there and gets destroyed, like you ruined the kid.
Yeah, and you're down to your third quarterback option of the year. I mean, you can't be playing games just simply because you're not satisfied with what that position's doing now. You gotta protect the guy on the bench too.
When do you?
There's nobody left on that, basically.
Yeah.
When do you think Tankathon officially starts, where we're just rooting for us to fail so that we get Williams or Drake May or whoever?
I mean, I don't think the team's going to officially tank. They could play competitive football, make it close, and lose, and that's pretty much the way every game's going, and that's kind of tanking. But I guess once you get down to those last three games, people are going to really start watching. Like, please don't win these. Please don't win these. And, we'll blow the Jets out. The Bill Belichick thing to do is lose all these games, get to the Jets in the last game of the year, and blow them out by 40. He hates the Jets.
At least that would be a little bit satisfying. But a game like tonight, the over/under number on tonight's game is 30, and there hasn't been a game in decades that's been that low for over/under. And I think if you're smart, you go with the under on this one.
Under.
If you know,
I think Patriots are 9-3 when you take the under. You win 9 out of 12 games when you take the under in Patriot games.
I mean, not that. The record for Pittsburgh is probably a little bit better than what they really are. I mean, Mitchell Trubisky puts fear in nobody. But when you have a game like this, and it's probably going to be a total turd tonight, do you bring something to read? Do you bring some games with you, some Sudoku, something to occupy your time during the broadcast?
I usually get extra food from pregame and halftime. I do that. Then I pick my nose, and the glass is usually between us and the home booth there, and I sort of make constellation shapes on it and draw lines with my Sharpie.
Well, I'm gonna make a prediction. Your nose picking will be more productive tonight than either offense on the field.
You guys are so rude. It's Christmas season. Everybody's being mean to me now.
Listen, we're only 10
It's
days
awful.
away from the biggest game of the Patriot season when Taylor Swift shows up to watch Travis Kelce pounce on our team.
I'm so sick of her.
Yeah.
What?
But you know what? She's the only thing that's going to bring an audience to the Gillette Stadium on the 17th.
To also be fair,
We got Army Navy this weekend, man. I'm fired up for that.
Well, that's
Really
true.
fired up.
to also be fair, I think she's a solid option at quarterback for the Patriots at this point. You know, she's tall.
Yeah. She,
You know what I mean?
could do a better play than Mac
Yeah.
Jones can.
Yeah. Because she's fearless.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you. Oh, boy. Now I know what era
Yeah,
you
when-
dressed
when
as.
When she throws the ball, sparks fly.
Oh, and if she gets sacked, she'll just shake it off.
Yeah.
Hey,
There
you know
you
what,
go.
Scott?
Exactly.
For a guy who hates Taylor Swift, you sure know an awful lot about her.
I love her.
Yeah, I know.
know you
We all
do.
do. We can't.
Why do you have to be so mean?
It's a cruel summer.
It really is. Scott, listen.
Well, it's karma. It is karma.
It never ends. It never ends. It's just rolling on.
This guy's on fire.
All this into stand up.
Scott, you're welcome to come out to Loft on a Thursday and do a spot anytime you'd like.
What do they have there? Like, what do you have to eat?
Oh, it's great that you asked. We have a buffet. It's $20 you get in. You get a dinner with it tonight. Tonight's Italian night.
No
Pasta,
kidding.
meatballs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still not too early to get in your car and turn around.
Yeah.
And Scott, I'm headlining the show tonight.
Yeah. Nagle's headline.
Oh,
It'll be all Taylor Swift talk.
I'll come out there full four Polish guys I know.
Let's do it.
See how that ends up for you.
There you go. Well, Scott, listen. Good luck tonight. I hope you get out of there. I hope your coffee and that crappy machine in the hotel spits out at least one decent cup of coffee for you. But otherwise, we will talk to you next week. See how things go.
Yeah, we're good, man. I love Pittsburgh. I grew up here, so it's kind of a homecoming for me. So it's good to be down here.
Awesome, Scott Zolak. Good to talk to you.
All right, guys.
You bet.
I'll see you.
822 on Rock 102. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 827 and Joan Jett with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam Neeson will give you the forecast this morning, whatever his name is. Liam something from Channel 40. He's got the forecast going on. He's in the bathroom right now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I guess Judy Matt is coming into the studio?
That's what they tell me.
That's what they tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'd hate to think that she's coming in tomorrow when she's coming. When we're telling her she's coming in today.
Let me just check to make sure. I'm pretty sure she was coming in today. Let's see, Thursday at 8:45 a.m.
Perfect.
How about that?
All right. This is working out great.
We got all kinds of stuff going on this morning.
It's also a Thunderbird Thursday. We'll have a big fat Thunderbird prize package for you after 9 o'clock today. So make sure you're listening for that.
That'll be 9:10. You know, I had to go to Costco yesterday.
Yeah.
And get and by the way, the amount of money that the groceries have gone up. Is
it's unbelievable.
ridiculous. But as I'm checking out, there are a couple of things here at Costco. These two employees, one who was working the register, and then the guy who was helping load the cart. You know, they always have the two people there.
Putting stuff in the random boxes they have.
She just wouldn't stop asking this guy questions about where he lived. And then I'm not going to tell where he lived, but he was describing all exactly the location. And I'm like, I know exactly where that is. And then she's like, but where though? Where are you between those two buildings? And then I just looked at him and I go, what is your exact address and your social security number and your mother's maiden name? And that kind of just broke up the conversation a little bit. So now I get the receipt and I'm walking out the door. And you know how they have the one of the employees making smiley faces like they're really checking all of those
receipt?
items.
Yeah.
And as the line is building up there's two guys standing there selling solar stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy says to me, and I shouldn't even have said anything, but the guy says, would you be interested in solar power, sir? And I said, I already have solar. And then he's like asking me, well, how much do you pay every month? And I was like, well, it's less than $100, whatever the deal was. And then he starts going as I'm walking forward, as the line's moving forward. He just keeps talking, and finally I get up to the girl and I said, "This you got to deal with this all day long. This guy bugging people that guy should be in the middle of the store somewhere, handing out free samples of solar panels, not at the end." When you're holding up the line. It's already a mess at that end of that line. It shouldn't be any longer than it has to be.
You can hand out the samples, but those solar panels, they're crunchy, but they
I was going to say, do they come with like a dipping sauce or something?
No flavor.
They're very enlightening.
Oh, yeah.
Unlike the guy selling them.
That's the kind of humor we can expect tonight.
Zing pow.
Zing pow.
I got a whole 25 minutes on Costco.
I'll get a snare drum for right next to the stage.
Yeah,
it's 8:30 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Here's your Western Mass.
8:33 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news. It's brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-on bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. His local radio icon, Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. Now, I know we already did Hollywood Trash, and this won't be in the next Hollywood Trash, but this just popped up on a news website. Shannon Doherty.
Yeah.
She revealed that she went into brain surgery for her cancer in January, right after learning her now former husband had been cheating on her for 2 years. Imagine that. Boy. You're going through, obviously you're probably nearing the end of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You need this surgery to save your life. And then you find out that your husband was cheating on you the whole time.
Right as you're going in for brain surgery?
Yeah. And then she filed for divorce by April. So it took her 4 months to recover from that, and then
that's a tough break.
Didn't she play like the bad, like the kind of witchy girl on 90210? Wasn't she like one of the bad characters?
I don't remember. I never watched that show.
You never watched that show?
No,
not even once.
I never got into it. That and that. What's the other one? Melrose Place or. Any number of those. Party of
Melrose
Five.
Places. Heather Locklear. You never watched that?
Nah. Bits and pieces.
Oh, God.
Just the bits.
Yeah.
I looked at the pieces.
And then I left pieces everywhere.
I bet you did.
Hey, a Palmer man broke into a couple's home on Central Street on Monday and chased them around the neighborhood while wielding a long knife and demanding money, according to a police narrative of the incident filed with Palmer District Court. We talked about this the other day. We heard the guy got arrested, but we didn't know the details of it. 43-year-old Jason Corbin of Palmer faces 6 charges in connection with Monday's incident: 2 counts of home invasion, 2 counts of assault in the dwelling while armed, and 2 counts of vandalizing property. On Tuesday, Corbin was arraigned on the charge and he's being held without the right to bail pending a dangerousness hearing this Friday. Robert Schmidt, a defense attorney listed for Corbin, did not immediately return a request for comment on Wednesday. I'd like a new defense attorney, please. This man looks like Schmidt. He practices law like Schmidt, too. The Palmer police were called.
He got his degree at the University of Shinola.
The Palmer police were called around 2:05 p.m. about a home invasion at the Central Street home by the man who lives there, according to the preliminary investigation by detectives. Corbin kicked in a door to the home and held a knife towards a woman inside while standing 3 feet away and demanding to know the whereabouts of her boyfriend. The boyfriend arrived home and he could hear Corbin's yelling from the driveway. He attempted to confront Corbin and grabbed a baseball bat hidden next to a side door because it was, in fact, peanut butter jelly time, but fled the house once Corbin pulled out a long buck knife from his waistband. Detective from Palmer wrote that Corbin specifically wanted to collect money from the man and used the knife to extort him. In an attempt to escape, the man and woman fled inside his 2017 Chevy Cruze, but Corbin followed them and he began to smash the windows of the car. Some witnesses captured the incident on camera. The couple drove away only to be chased by Corbin while he rode a bicycle and threatened the couple with his knife. The chase ensued around Central, French, Walnut, and Converse streets. There's big doings in the town of Palmer.
Oh, yeah.
No kidding.
I'm shocked they have a detective out there.
Oh, they do.
Oh, they actually have a pretty elaborate police department.
Really?
Yeah. It's a fairly decent-sized municipality out there.
I remember they used to have the police officers at the old Magic Lantern. I thought that was their only department.
But that was Munson police.
That was in
Munson. Yeah.
Munson.
Because it was like right in that little Munson Palmer pocket.
Right in that alcove.
After police arrested Corbin and were bringing him to the hospital, he apparently smeared blood on the partition inside the cruiser and then spit within the prisoner compartment, rendering the cruiser out of service.
Well, I'll tell you, a judge isn't going to give a Schmidt at that point.
Yeah. You're right about that.
Yeah,
I see what you were doing there.
Nice job leaving all that DNA evidence behind in the cruiser.
Yeah, it can't be you that did all this. We don't have any tests to find out if you actually did this or not.
What's the ruling on that? If baseball bat versus a knife. If that guy's chasing him with a knife and he hits him with a baseball bat, is that considered like equal self-defense? Because I know in this state you're not allowed to shoot him. Right?
Well, if you played for the Red Sox, no, but because they could hit anything with a baseball bat.
You'd miss 3 times.
I don't know what the ratio to kill ratio is on a knife versus a baseball bat.
Well, like certain states, they have the stand your ground thing. Someone has a knife, you shoot them. Everyone says, hey, no problem here. But Massachusetts, I know, doesn't really have that. So you have to use the equal force of whatever else someone has.
Well, it's Palmer. You use whatever is available.
That's true.
Necessary.
Right. Palmer's as close to Florida as you're going to get up here.
Listen, if you got a full natty daddy in your hand, that is perfectly acceptable tool to hit somebody with.
But just as long as you choke up on the bat, because otherwise you're just not going to have the warning track power you need.
Also a very solid point.
The total Palmer man move is taking a giant natty daddy, smashing it over the head of another guy just to shotgun it.
And not taking the cigarette out of your mouth.
Right, yeah. Who wants to go lay on some train tracks? Huh? Massachusetts State Police arrested 2 brothers on poaching charges on Saturday in Coleraine after recovering a deer and a gray fox that had been shot illegally. Worthington resident Ira Dool, 46, and Coleraine resident Seth O'Dool, 51.
No relation.
No. May be responsible for several other poaching incidents that have been reported in the area and could face further charges. No, they are in fact brothers.
They are.
O is his middle initial.
Oh, it's not O apostrophe Dool. No. It's just O period Dool.
Right. The 2 men are facing charges including hunting from a vehicle and shooting animals. On December 2nd around 6:10 p.m., state police received a report that a deer had been shot from a truck in front of a home on Shelburne Line Road in Coleraine. A trooper responded and noticed a gray Toyota Tacoma nearby that matched the description of the truck. The trooper pulled the truck over and soon noticed that the 2 men in the truck, who were later identified as the Dool brothers.
Bo and Luke Dool?
Yeah, Bo and Luke Dool.
It was them Dool. This is Rascal B. Coltrane on the hot pursuit. Damn it.
Oh, there go them Dools again. Pissing off Boss Hog.
He and another trooper then arrested the 2 men, and as they were being arrested, the scene froze, and Waylon Jennings came over and said, I don't know how these Dool boys are going to explain that dead fox in their car, too. In the truck, authorities found 2 rifles, 2 shotguns, a loaded handgun, other firearms equipment, and a illegally killed gray fox that appeared to have been shot and beaten. Authorities later performed a necropsy on the body of the deer and found 3 slugs that matched the loaded rifle they found in the truck. They did more forensic work in less than a day up in Coleraine than we can find a murderer in Springfield when somebody gets shot. Doesn't it seem like that?
Yeah, they already have the ballistics back on that.
We got the deer forensic. Yeah. It's Captain Buck.
How did they know they beat up the fox? That's what I want to know.
Well, it probably had some kind of
stitches
evidence.
under its eye.
Well, yeah, right.
It's like...
Yeah, they found all of this stuff, and then police in and around Coleraine have received several reports of a suspect or suspects poaching from a gray Tacoma over the last 2 years, but no one was able to identify the suspect. Authorities are now investigating whether the Dool brothers are habitual poachers and may be responsible for the other incidents. Massachusetts Environmental Police, which also responded Saturday, took possession of the confiscated guns. The Dool brothers face mandatory firearm identification card revocations and could have their hunting rights revoked in nearly every state if they are found guilty of the numerous charges.
They'll be social outcasts in Coleraine with that kind of sentence.
What? You telling me the Dool boys can't get into the hunting club?
Well, they said almost every state, but Alabama is going to be like, you can come down here and hunt, boys. It's fine.
Yeah, now they got to go sniffing for cooter out there to find out and get him out of the jail. Where is that cooter? We done shot this fox, and now we need cooter to help us out.
We drove all the way to Whately looking for cooter.
Yeah, and he wasn't there.
I've seen cooter in Whately. I've definitely seen cooter in Whately.
And with that, let's welcome Judy Matt from the Spirit of Springfield. It's 22 in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102.
Shop the
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:50 and Nirvana with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be cloudy today with a high of 36 tomorrow. Sunny with a high of 42. It's 22 right now in downtown Springfield.
Judy Matt from the Spirit of Springfield is in the studio. Really great event is coming to Symphony Hall on Sunday, and she's here to talk about it. Good to see you, Judy.
Thanks for allowing me to come in and talk about this.
Oh, of course. Thanks for the...
Like we're going to say no to you. Let me look at the feast you brought with you. Are you kidding me?
Well, I realize the value of being on this show, especially the audience. I'm not kidding you. Whenever we talk about someone that should introduce someone, I always say Bax and Nagle because they have the crowd. So listen to when I left here the last time, I had my dogs with me. Where you were down at the Mayflower Marathon.
Yeah.
I went by the Bishops, walking my dog, and a lady pulls up. She said, "I just heard you on Rock 102." I said, "Oh my God!" What time was that? 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
6:45 in the morning because I got down there at 6.
Oh, there's people listening out there.
Oh, I know.
So on Sunday, it's the 215th Army Band of the Massachusetts Army National Guard. It's the Mercy's Family Holiday Concert. We were at this last year. It's a tremendous family event. The band is terrific. You practically filled Symphony Hall last year, or did you fill it? It was. I mean, it was a great crowd.
About 1,800 people, which is a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
For a Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon.
That's amazing. And you picked a Sunday afternoon where there's no Patriots game.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Also, there's no Thunderbird game.
There's no Thunderbird. There's nothing else to do in Springfield.
I know. So you have a place to park and everything.
Yeah.
And by the time the concert is done, you can head over to a Forest Park and go to Bright Nights.
That's exactly the plan.
Yeah. So tell us about this because you've had this concert for the last couple of years and it's always a big success. Tell us about what this is all about.
Well, every year, as a matter of fact, immediately following the concert, the band, we get together with the band and they book it for next year. They love coming to Symphony Hall. First of all, the quality of the sound is great, but the audience is so responsive. And usually the adjutant general comes, the base commander Barnes comes. They all try to support the band, and the band feels it. I mean, they always say they don't always get the same kind of reception, but they love, and the reception we give them. In Mercy Hospital, they feed them a nice meal at Elegant Affairs.
Mm-hmm.
And Sheridan puts them up. You know what I'm saying? They don't get that kind of response everywhere. And we're so happy these people continue to help us to bring them here.
And what people may not realize is the band is exceptional. I mean, it's not just a good military band. They are an exceptional bunch of musicians.
Yeah. Yeah, and most of them are local, and there's 150 of their families coming from throughout Massachusetts to support them. So it's just a great thing. And the nice thing is you could bring young people in, and that maybe have not had an opportunity to go into Symphony Hall, and you see a lot of young kids because they don't often have that chance.
Right.
So we're so happy to do it, and it's really one of the things I look forward to every year.
Now, if someone wanted to go, what should they do?
Well, they can go and pick. It's free, but we'd like you to have a ticket, and you go to any Pride gas station, and they have some tickets, or you come to. It's too late to get a self-return stamped envelope, but you can go to the visitor center in downtown Springfield. You could come to my building, the Mass Live building. But if you don't have a ticket, show up. And we let the people in with tickets first, and then you can go in. It's all about keeping a count, so we know the numbers more than anything else.
Yeah, and the fact it's free.
Yeah.
What's free around the holidays?
And
I don't know anything
wonderful.
that's free except the food you just gave us because we didn't pay for it, but I know you did. But it was free to us.
I can say it's amazing.
Yeah. There's Marty enjoying himself.
Yeah,
over there.
Mr. Creosote over here is about to blow up.
I haven't stopped eating it since she's walked in the studio.
Sorry.
But so there's that, and we did mention Bright Nights, which is going on right now. How's that been so far?
It's over the top. It's just doing great. Our numbers are all actually better than last year. Tuesday we have $10 Tuesdays to make it more affordable for local people, and we had 1,400 cars Tuesday night,
really,
from 5 to 9. And you can always tell when you're doing really well, because that's when you get the calls for the traffic. And it's first thing, it's nothing bad. Can't you put more police out on the street or whatever?
I'm living on Long Hill. I can't get out of my house. One of those things, right?
Yeah.
You're limited to a finite number of options in order to help traffic control there. But the Springfield police do a great job.
They
moving
do
that
a great
stuff along.
job. And, we had, because we don't take cash anymore, it's all, you have to purchase the ticket online. It goes much quicker. I mean, imagine 1,400 cars and having to count the cash out. Here, they just show their phone and they get in, or they have the pass from the Big Y.
Yeah.
And we had 5 travel writers here from New England. And I was supposed to meet them at the entrance. There was no way that was going to happen. So we tried to get them to Trafton Road. And the person driving couldn't even get through Belmont to get there. But then we had a security guy go out and meet them with the light on to get them in. And they said on a Tuesday night, you have this kind of crowd. And the sheriff was there with the horses, with the Marines. And we had the Minichog singers there. And we had the characters from Frozen. It was just great. Cool. It was just a great night.
Yeah. I know in the past we've talked about where this stacks up compared to other lighting displays around the country. And, I know it's always been up to like certain votes and stuff. But, I've seen other lighting displays, holiday lighting displays all over the place. I don't know any that can even come close to what's going on at Bright Nights for the last 30 years.
Well, honestly, you know me, I'm a promoter, so I've got to always say the right thing and make things sound good. But we just got selected again from the American Bus Association as the best of the best lighting show in America.
I have a question about Bright Nights, because I've been going for years. And
I know, and your girls.
The kids love it, and it's always a good time. We always stop and see Santa there and whatnot. But is there? I know you have the Bright Nights 5K, which sells out like immediately as soon as it goes on sale, which is back in June, I think.
The first week of September.
The thing sells out right away. Yep. Is there another day of an opportunity for people to walk through the park?
No, we get that question, but with code enforcement, we had to go through so much to be able to have the run.
Yeah,
and people come and they want to be able to watch it, and we can't.
Yeah.
They can watch it at the beginning, but they can't walk down because there's wires and lights
and
electricity.
True too. I
and
didn't even think of
it's 3.5 miles. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were going to go at mile 2, you might say, I've had enough of this. And then where are you going to go? Walk another 2 miles back? Are you going to walk into the park?
No, you cut right through the lighting display and you go back onto Porter Road. Yeah.
So that's the reason. That's the reason.
Why would I walk through all 3 miles? Come on, Jim.
Well, someone said to me, 6, 3 and 3.
Oh, yeah.
Someone said to me, someone just a couple of days ago asked if they could walk through it. And I said, geez, I'm so sorry, but we can't. And then it's not us. And there's very good reasons why you can't. And the guide wires coming down, between dogs running into the wires or getting shocked by touching their nose to the lights. We've had it all. So we have to abide by the rules so we can continue to have Bright Nights.
Plus, you got all these people driving their cars, and they're looking all over the place, not necessarily looking at pedestrians. So it's not a safe place to be.
Exactly right. That's exactly right. At the beginning of the night, people want to get a walk-in or a run-in, and then they're still in when people are coming. And people aren't looking for them. They're looking at the lights.
Right,
of course.
We've never had an accident. We've never, thankfully, we haven't.
Well, Judy, Matt, Spirit of Springfield, the Mercy's Family Holiday Concert is this Sunday, 2 o'clock at Symphony Hall. It is free, but you got to go get your ticket at Pride locations and all the other places.
And hit Bright Nights right after.
Judy, it's great to see you.
Thanks for allowing me to come in.
Anytime. It's 8:58 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.